Another historic day, this time inside an Atlanta courtroom. In a sweeping, nearly 100-page indictment, former President Donald Trump, the leading candidate for the 2024 Republican nomination, was indicted today for trying to overturn his loss to Joe Biden in Georgia in the last election, a state Trump lost to Joe Biden by just under 12,000 votes.
All elections in our nation are administered by these states, which are given the responsibility of ensuring a fair process and an accurate counting of the votes. The state's role in this process is essential to the functioning of our democracy.
Trump charged with 13 counts, including racketeering, conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer, conspiracy to commit forgery, and false statements and false writings. He has previously denied any wrongdoing. 18 others also indicted, including Trump's former personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, and his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and another 30 unindicted co-conspirators. The indictment detailing that the defendants refused to accept that Trump lost.
They're talking about 161 acts that were committed as part of this criminal enterprise. And what she does is she takes it through chronologically, starting from actually before the election. In act number 1, she makes a reference to the fact that on October 31st, he's already talking about making a speech declaring victory, even if he doesn't win. And so she's saying, in effect, that's where it starts. It starts even before Election Day.
Also indicted today were some of the fake electors recruited by the Trump campaign. The indictment alleges that members of the enterprise corruptly solicited Georgia legislators, instead to unlawfully appoint their own presidential electors for the purpose of casting electoral votes for Donald Trump. This indictment is the culmination of District Attorney Fani Willis's 2.5-year investigation.
Meanwhile, President-elect Biden is now projected to win the state of Georgia, the first time a Democrat has done that in nearly 30 years.
In November 2020, 2 recounts in Georgia, including one requested by Trump, showing the same results. Biden had won the state.
Authorities are ordering a recount by hand.
Georgia was the center of the political universe for a couple of key reasons. At the time, no one thought that it had a chance of going to Joe Biden. And suddenly, here are these surprise results, close results, but surprise results that certified Joe Biden as the winner.
That is when the alleged pressure campaign began. Trump and his associates making baseless claims of massive election fraud online and on TV news shows.
The recount being done in Georgia will tell us nothing, because these fraudulent ballots will just be counted again.
With every passing verdict that went against Donald Trump, you saw an increase in the rhetoric around the idea that this election had been stolen or falsified or that there was sufficient chicanery.
Prompting this very public plea to then President Trump himself to stop making unfounded claims.
What you don't have the ability to do, and you need to step up and say this, is stop inspiring people to commit potential acts of violence. Someone's going to get hurt, someone's going to get shot, someone's going to get killed.
In one instance, included in the indictment, Trump and his allies targeting 2 Fulton County poll workers, Ruby Freeman and her daughter, Shay Moss.
Of Ruby Freeman and Shay Freeman Moss and one other gentleman, quite obviously, surreptitiously passing around USB ports as if they're vials of heroin or cocaine.
This surveillance video from election night edited and manipulated to allegedly show Ruby passing Shay a USB drive of stolen votes. In emotional testimony before the January 6th committee last year, Shay explained that it was something completely innocent.
What was your mom actually handing you on that video?
A ginger mint.
The mother and daughter telling ABC News exclusively how their lives were turned upside down by threats from Trump supporters.
They were saying that I should be hung, me and my mom will die, and, like burning crosses. It's like a slap in the face, like just very hateful things.
They would say really, really bad racist stuff, We know where you live, we coming to get you.
In the weeks that followed, the former president's false election fraud claims went far beyond poll workers.
We know the Democrats will have dead people voting, and you got to watch it. Dead people, you wouldn't believe how many, illegal aliens from out of the state, and they'll be filing out and filling out ballots for people who don't even exist. There's no way we lost Georgia. There's no way. That was a rigged election, but we're still fighting it.
This was a concerted effort, legal, political. It's certainly one that involved big aspects of public relations that sought to exert pressure on elected officials to try to change the outcome of an election.
The indictment also alleging that Trump, along with Mark Meadows, pressured a public official to violate his oath of office in early January 2021.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes.
In a call with Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, pressuring him for more than an hour to find the votes needed to overturn Biden's win.
So what are we going to do here, folks? I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break.
Bonnie Willis opened her investigation shortly after.
I am going to look at anyone that attempted to influence the November 2020 election.
And as news surfaced that she was preparing for indictments, Trump repeatedly and loudly attacked her online and during campaign rallies.
Right next door in Georgia, the racist district attorney goes after me for a perfect phone call.
This is the second indictment against the former president this month. In addition to Georgia, Trump now faces criminal cases in Manhattan, Florida, and Washington, D.C. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges.